Hi everyone, Coach Sipho here. Welcome to part 2 of the 100 Ways of Losing at Chess series. And today we are going to explore 6 mating or winning patterns. So without wasting any more time, let's dive into it. Last week we already explored the first 10 mating patterns. So on today's video we are going to start from number 11 until number 16. Starting with this position is referred to as a windmill position. The basic characteristic of this tactical motif is that you need a bishop or a queen on that long diagonal, so that whenever you move this rook, this bishop or queen would deliver a check. So in that case, the black king would have to move, and this is the only logical move. If black goes there, the rook would come again, check. The king would have to get out of check. That is the only way. In this position, it seems like black is winning because black is ahead in material. Black has 3 minor pieces and a queen. And white has 2 minor pieces and the rook, which is a huge advantage in black's favor. But thanks to the windmill, white will actually win this position. Remember, every time you move this rook, the bishop would deliver a check. So you just move the rook, take the knight, and it is a check. The only logical way is to move the king. Now the rook should not take other pieces, should come and make a check so that the king goes to that long diagonal. And then from there you will move the rook again and take another piece. Pay attention, the queen cannot take the rook, because it is still a check from that bishop. So the king must move. You don't take the bishop, but you must come back again, set up that king to go to the long diagonal. Then you will take the bishop, check again. The king will move. Now, and just take the queen. And of course, white would simply win in this position. Again, this position is referred to as a windmill or a seesaw. Other people call it a seesaw position. So now let's go ahead to the 12th way of losing at chess. This 12th way of losing at chess is called the Anastasia's mate. The basic characteristic of the Anastasia's mate is that you need your knight on the e7 square. Now, someone might ask, why do we need our knight on the e7 square? Well, you need your knight there so that it can control the g8 and the g6 squares. The next step after placing your knight on e7 is to open the h file. If you could open the h file, your rook would be able to come here and it would be a checkmate. So it all starts with queen sacrifice. Queen takes h7. King takes the queen, the only way of getting out of check. Now you follow with rook h3 and it is a checkmate. Thanks to the knight on e7. The king cannot go to g8 or g6. Now let's go to the 13th way of losing at chess. This 13th way of losing at chess is referred to as the Taimanov's knight check. Now those who watch the first part of this series know the danger of moving that f pawn. It makes this diagonal weak and the king weak. Now the Taimanov's knight check takes advantage of that weak diagonal. It all starts with knight g3. It is a check. The king cannot go there thanks to that bishop. The only way to get out of this check is to take the knight. After black takes the knight, it is a check. And the only way to block that check is the knight to h2. Now after rook takes h2, sadly for white, it is a checkmate. By the way, if you are still enjoying this content, please show your appreciation by smashing that subscribe button. Now let's go to the 14th way of losing at chess. Now an attentive student will notice that the 14th way of losing at chess has something to do with moving that f pawn again, which makes that diagonal weak. So the best move for black is to play rook takes h2. The only way to get out of check is to take the rook, because going there, it would be a check from the bishop. So king takes h2, queen h8, Now, if you block with the queen would take, and it would be a checkmate. If white goes there, then the queen goes there. And sadly for white, it is a checkmate. Guys, I've been saying again and again, and I'm saying it again today. Please refrain from moving that F pawn. It leads to many tactical motifs that will put your king in danger. Now let's go to the 15th way of losing at chess. The 15th way of losing at chess is called the Arabian mate. Now the basic characteristic of the Arabian mate is that you need your knight on the f6 square and your rook on the 7th or the 8th rank. Let's start with the rook on the 7th rank. If your rook is on the 7th rank, you want the opponent's king to be in the corner. So all you will do, you will move your rook to h7 square. And it is a checkmate because our rook is defended by the knight and the king cannot go to h8 since the knight is controlling that square. Okay, someone might ask, what if black has some pawns on the 7th rank? Well, in that case, you just need a small favor from a pawn that would defend your knight on f6 and guard the h6 square. In that case, you'd simply make a check with your rook. Now the rook is no longer needed on the 7th rank, but you can just place it on the 8th rank. Check. If the king goes there, you follow with a rook to g8 and it is a checkmate. Now let's go to the last way of losing at chess. This 16th way of losing at chess is referred to as a combination. A combination is a mixture of two or more tactical motifs. Tactical motifs are tactical tools that chess players use to achieve their goals forcefully, like a fork, a pin, decoy, and so many other tactics. For example, in this position, we are going to use two or more. Everyone knows that when the king is here, white can simply checkmate with a queen and the bishop. This is a b3. Now the black king cannot get out of check. But in this position, the black king is not on h8 square. But thanks to a tactical motif called decoy. A decoy is a tactical tool that chess players use to force the opponent's pieces to a specific position so that they can achieve their goal. Okay, let's look at this position again. If the black king was on h8, white would simply play queen h7 checkmate. But now, the black king is not on h8. Instead, it is on g8. How do we force the black king to go to h8? You simply use a tactical motif called a decoy. So you play a rook h8. The black king cannot go to f7 because there is a queen. The only way to get out of check is to take the rook. Now the king is exactly where we want it to be. So we'll play queen h7 checkmate. Thanks for watching part 2 of this series. And again, if you did not watch part 1, which is the first 10 ways of losing at chess, I recommend that you watch the video above.